Welcome to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert. Artificial intelligence is moving faster than any technology since the internet, and it's forcing a massive restructuring of the job market. The World Economic Forum recently mapped out 4 possible futures for our economy by 2030. They project 170 million new jobs will be created, but 92 million will be wiped out. The deciding factor between an economic boom and massive job displacement isn't the technology itself, it is whether our workforce is ready to use it. Joining me to cut through the noise and break down what this means for you is Dr. Anud Bani-Hani. She is an AI expert and a professor at the University of Colorado, Denver. Anud, welcome back on the program.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
It's always great to have you and talk AI. Now, Dr. Bani-Hani, let's simplify this. The World Economic Forum report for people, help them better understand, business owners and workers alike, what this actually means. Now, they break the future into potential scenarios: supercharged progress, age of displacement, co-pilot economy, and stalled progress. This is based on how fast AI moves and how prepared our workforce is. Walk us through this, and why should people care?
Okay. So, Ryan, think of it as 2 forces colliding at the same time. The first one is how AI actually advances. Does it move exponentially, or does it settle into a more gradual pace? The second one is whether the workforce is ready for it. And so they split it into 4, as you mentioned. The best case scenarios, let's say, is the co-pilot economy, where basically AI advances into a manageable pace and workers have adapted alongside. So we work together, humans and AI, perfectly well. This is the perfect scenario. The second one is the supercharged progress. AI moves very fast, but so does the work readiness. So people become what they called in the report the agent orchestrators. So basically, we manage the team with AI tools. Now, the other 2 scenarios, which is a little bit that we have concerns about them, is the stalled progress, where gains concentrate only in companies and regions that invested early. And everyone else falls behind it. The most scary one and keeps us up at night is the age of displacement. This one, AI races ahead, workforce isn't ready, and automating becomes cheaper than retraining people. So companies decide, and I was like, why train anybody? Let's have AI. Now, why should people care today? Okay, because we've seen this movie before in Kodak. So I don't know if you know, but I'm sure you know, Kodak had over 145,000 employees in the 80s, and they were bankrupted in 2012. They were wiped out by digital photography that they actually invented in 1975. The reason that they saw the future coming and still did not act in time to get on board. And this is what we're worried about. And this is what the report is actually saying, that the question isn't whether change is coming, it is coming. So people need to care about what's happening with it.
Yeah, now I want to lean into this very uncomfortable statistics from the report. 54% of executives expect AI to displace jobs, but only 12% expect it to actually raise wages. Now, to avoid leaving workers and local communities behind, what is the mandate right now for corporate leaders, policymakers, and community leaders to help govern this transition responsibly?
Yeah. So the gap that you just mentioned, 54 versus 12, is executive being honest to us and telling us, and this is one of the most, I think, honest data in this report. Now, for corporate leaders, the mandate is straightforward: align your technology and talent strategy. Now, the practical rule is don't automate a function without stimulously retraining the people that's going to use this function. Now, for policymakers, the mandate is basically, for the policymakers, the report here raises a very important concern: is you do not want the worst case scenario to happen, which is government risk losing real democratic oversight of key decisions to the autonomous system. So you don't want AI to be the one making the decisions for us, for the government. Now, for the community and education leaders, the mandate is basically to close the readiness gap before people enter the workforce, not after displacement has already happened. We're actively updating, for example, if I'm going to talk from a professor point of view, what we're doing at the university is we're updating our programs, we're updating our classes to have AI embedded in almost every class. The reason is we want to make sure that our students graduate ready, AI ready for the market. Now, timing and geography matter, and education is one of the few levers, but works at scale before the crisis actually hits.
Build on that, because I mean, I think the bottom line is, and you said it well, is policymakers, business leaders, community leaders, education leaders need to get serious about working together to help solve this issue and help prepare the workforce to keep up, such that this doesn't become a bigger problem and we can take advantage of the opportunities. Now, the data shows demand for AI literacy has jumped 70% in just 1 year. For those that are watching this right now that may be worried about their job security, what is the single most important step that they need to take tomorrow morning to ensure they are collaborating with AI in 2030 rather than being replaced by it?
That's a very good question. So what I always tell my students, or even people who are at the workplace, start using AI today. Start using it today, not to impress anyone, not to replace what you do, but to understand basically where it generally helps you and makes your job faster. You cannot learn to collaborate with something you have never touched. So that's the starting point. But I also want to give people a more honest frame than just learn AI. The work breakdown, the World Economic Forum, as you just mentioned, asked that we have to retrain and mandate what, and this is what we have already begun in 2024, 2025.
You know, there's so much more we could talk about here, Anu, but you know, we'll have to have that for another show. Technology dictates the pace of change, but human capital, humans, people dictate the success of it. The businesses that thrive over the next 5 years will be the ones that invest heavily in upskilling their people as they do in purchasing the software. Dr. Anu Benihani, thanks so much for your insight. We'll be back during the 11 o'clock hour to talk about the economic bright spot right here in Denver. While urban downtowns across the country are struggling with the vacant offices, Cherry Creek is breaking records and pouring millions of tax dollars into the city. We'll discuss their blueprint for success. Stay with us for the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Frazier.